So good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Edge Free Topical Webinar on Acquisition Using DriveRetail. My name is Sasha Latanzi. I'll be teaching today's class. Now, how many of you may be familiar with DriveRetail? Okay, if you're using our postcard program in the Edge, you're probably very familiar with how to use DriveRetail. But if you're not familiar, DriveRetail is one of our partners, and they'll allow us to go in and send, one of the many things they allow us to do is to go in and send postcards out to our existing customers through the Edge program, so that we can help bring them into the store, make sales, and hopefully make some money. And you can find the postcard information. Now, I usually refer to it as postcards. We've been calling it postcards here at the Edge for so long, but it's really much more than that. It's actually a direct mail campaign, because not only do they do postcards over at DriveRetail, but they also do envelope folding cards, and they do much more than that as well, as you'll start to see as we go through their site today. If we go to customer on the main Edge screen, on the left-hand side, you're going to see a button that says print marketing. Okay, so this is the section of the program that deals with the postcard program. When we come in, you're going to see we have several buttons here. We have order now, we have schedule, we have history, my account, and website. And if you were in my class this morning on postcards, we went over all of those. Now, the print marketing button is a great tool to use to reach out to your existing customer base, and you can send the customers large, oversized, glossy postcards, often personalized, to get your customers into the store for their birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, Mother's Day, Father's Day, ladies' night, men's night. Maybe you have an Antwerp trip coming, any kind of holiday or occasion you can think of, we pretty much have a card for it. Now we're going to start off, I want to start off by going to my account. Now, even if we're going to be using the DriveRetail site for acquisition, meaning rather than just reaching out to our existing customers, we want to use the site to go and acquire new customers, you are going to want to come in and sign up. So to sign up, we're going to go to Customer, Print Marketing, and My Account. And when you come in here, you will need security permission, and the actual permission, the way that it's worded on the security list, is manage the internet print house account. Okay, so you'll see that here. And this is just a quick tip, since I used to work in support and to help people find things faster. Anytime that you're wondering what permission you might need to give associates or yourself in order to do something in the Edge, when you pull up this box and it says identify yourself, it's going to say you need permission to, and then something written in quotes. And whatever is written in quotes is exactly how it's going to be worded under administrative associate and going to security. That's going to be how it's worded on the security list. So I'm going to put my ID and password in, and we're going to get a screen that pops up here that says postcard account details. Now, this is where you're going to come and register in order to start using anything from DriveRetail. Now, you're going to see that there's an Edge ID here up at the top. That's going to automatically generate based on your license file. Your Edge ID is a small 3-4 letter code usually that we use to identify you here at the Edge in our systems. So that should automatically generate from your license file. The information below is going to be printed on your postcards. So you're going to see here that it has in red, please type these fields exactly how they should print on the postcards, okay? Because this is going to be the information that's going to actually print on the postcards. My recommendation to you is when you fill this out, make sure you double check your work, make sure there's no typos, no spelling errors, etc. And you may even want to have somebody else at the store come and take a look at it as well, just to proofread it, make sure that everything looks good. You're going to have your store name here. You can put in your store slogan if you have one, okay? This is an optional field. Maybe you have a store slogan like your friendly neighborhood jeweler or your diamond source, and you can put that slogan in there. There's also a section here for street address. So you're going to fill in all your store's address information, your store phone number. There's a place for your store website, and also a location message. Now, this is required. So this is basically directions to your store. So on the corner of South and Elm, in the Rockstar Plaza next to Target, whatever location it is, but some kind of guidance to let customers know where your store is located. Now at the bottom, there's a section that says this information is used to contact you for billing purposes. So this is where you're going to put in the name of whoever can set up the billing for this account, your phone number, that person's email, and there's also a notes field that you can put in for the owner of DriveRetail, which is Tom Myers. He runs the DriveRetail website. But notice at the bottom it does says do not include your credit card number. Okay, we do not want you to put any credit card information on this form because other people at the store may have access to it. Okay, so we don't want you putting that information here. Once you come through and fill out this form and click OK, you're going to get an email to the email address that you have down at the bottom. And it's going to be from DriveRetail, and they're going to be requesting your your information for billing purposes. And they're also going to ask you for your store logo because you can have your store logo placed on your cards. Okay. Once you have come in and filled all this out and you're ready to go, you'll want to pop in before we go into work on the acquisition options, and you're going to want to jot down what this Edge ID is. Okay, so it's usually, like I said, usually a very short code, 2, 3, 4-letter code. You're going to want to get that information here and jot it down because we're going to need it on a different screen. So once you have been cleared, you're good to go. You've got your billing set up, you've got your logo file set up, and everything is good to go. And for those of you who arrived a few minutes late, we did our sign up for the DriveRetail program by going to Customer, Print Marketing, and My Account. And that's where you're going to fill that out. Once you've set up your billing, your logo, and you get the green light to go, we're going to come into website. So this is the DriveRetail website. Really nice website. You'll notice that we have some information here about the reopen promotion that you may be seeing on your news feed right now. There's some really great books here that go over various information, including some of the information that we're going to be going over today. So you may want to pop over here and take a look at these. We're going to start off by coming into products. Okay, so if we go to products, you're going to notice that we have all types of cards here. We have cards for just about every occasion: Mother's Day, Father's Day, female birthdays, male birthdays, clearance events, missing you, ladies' night, men's night, holiday cards, store anniversary cards, Super Bowl cards, Valentine's Day, and welcome to the neighborhood. So there's a card for just about everything. Perhaps we want to come in and send out a card. Okay, if you have a card that you're looking to send out and you want to send it out to not customers that are currently in your database, but you may want to send it to new customers or new prospective customers, you can come in and find a card that sort of meets your needs. Just to make things nice and easy, I'm going to come in, I'll find one here. Let's see. I can come in and pick up a card here. I'm going to do Mother's Day. Even though we're too close to Mother's Day to send a card out right now, I'm just going to select Mother's Day just so we could take a look. So when I come in to my Mother's Day cards, I'm going to actually go down to Jumbo Cards. And you'll see that we have all different cards to choose from. Okay. All of the cards are professionally designed. You'll see that they have the store logo on. And on the back of the cards, you're also going to see there's going to be a section for an offer, as well as a disclaimer as well. So I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to pick this card down at the bottom. This is a Mother's Day jumbo size postcard. And I'm going to click OK. Now, when we come in and we click on any of the postcards, you'll see that it's going to list off the pricing. So it's going to let us know the price, which includes pre-sort first class mail, would be $1.09 because this is a jumbo card. For a regular postcard for first class mail, you'd be looking at about 99 cents. For standard pre-sort mail, it would be 89 cents for a regular postcard. For the price including pre-sort standard mail for a jumbo postcard, you're going to see it's 99 cents. And if you were going to do orders over 2,000, of them, you'd see a lower, you'd see a discount there. If I come in and we take a look at our card, you're going to see our store logo on the front of the card. We've got jewelry here and a beautiful design. If I click on the back of the design, you'll see that it is personalized. It's got information here, and you're going to see an offer. Bring this card in for $100 off your Mother's Day purchase. And down the bottom, it has a disclaimer: minimum $500 purchase, valid up until Mother's Day. See store for details. Now, I picked a Mother's Day card. We are way too close to Mother's Day to be sending Mother's Day cards out right now, but I'm feeling the Mother's Day vibe. So just keep in mind how this is going to work. When we scroll down, we have some options here. Now, if we were working with our Edge database customer, so our existing customer base, we would be doing this through the Edge. But in this case, we're working with customers that we don't have in our Edge. We're looking for new customers. So I'm going to scroll down here to the section that says send this direct mailer to a list of customers or purchase a list using our online post office. And we're going to come down and we're going to click purchase a list. Now, once I come in here, you'll see up at the top there's some information. Now, with all of our, most of our postcards, there is no minimum print quantities on postcards, okay? The only time we tend to run into print minimum quantities is if we were doing an every door direct mailer, which we'll talk about in a little while. But for most of your postcard orders, there is no minimum print quantities. They all have free professional designs. Many of them can be personalized. You'll see that it will, we can do scheduled postcards, etc. In this case, we're working with our, we're going to get a list of customers. So when we come in here, you're going to need to register your store. Now it's going to say here, it's got information just for Edge software. So it's going to tell you you need to go into your Edge program to register, which we already talked about. And then down here, you're going to need to fill in that Edge ID number from the My Account section of your Edge program. So we have our little 4-letter code. Mine is TESOL. You're going to fill in all of your information, the same information in this case that you filled in the Edge. Okay. We're going to scroll down. I've got my website, my location message, and then I have my contact message. This information is not going to go onto the cards. This is just contact information in case DriveRetail needs to get in touch with me about my order. The next thing it's going to do is it's going to ask me to review my product details. In other words, to make sure I've selected the card that I want and that everything looks good. And when I come in, you'll see that there is an enter a call to action. This is going to be our offer. Now, keep in mind that this is going to print out exactly as you have it typed in. Okay, so if you just write $100, it's only going to say $100 on it. So typically there is a character maximum here. So for the offer, it's 150 limit character. Sorry, character limit. Not enough coffee today. And for a disclaimer, it's going to be 100 character limit. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to say $100 off your Mother's Day purchase. And I'm going to say the disclaimer is minimum purchase amount of $500. And we're also going to say, please see store for details. I always recommend the please see store for details because it kind of gives you that backup for your disclaimer. So if a customer comes in and you want to make sure, you know, you've got disclaimers on there, please see store for details kind of gives you that kind of final say when it comes to your disclaimer and lets the customer know, hey, there may be other details here. Come in and talk to us at the store. We'll let you know exactly what the terms and conditions are. Once you have this set up, you'll see here it says sample proof. Now, because everything is very automated, etc., there are no proofs for under 1,000 pieces. If you were going to do over 1,000 pieces and you wanted to see a sample proof of the card, in that case, you could get one if you request one. Down at the bottom, you're going to see it says select postage class and confirm mail date. So here we have pre-sort first class and pre-sort standard. Now here's what I want you to understand. I'm going to click on the bottom right-hand corner, and just like we did with postcards, we're going to take a look at how long it takes for these cards to go out. If I place an order for cards this week, okay, so anytime during this week, the cards are going to go out the following Friday. They will get, this order will get sent to the print house. The print house will then print them, stamp them, and send them to the post office. They will send them to the post office the following Friday. So if I came through and I purchased a list and sent cards out through the website today, the cards would arrive at the post office on May 15th. Okay, so always a week following on the Friday. If we use pre-sort first class, the cards typically will take 3 to 5 business days to get to the customers. Okay, now the cards are sent from Atlanta, Georgia. So just keep that in mind. If you're in Atlanta, Georgia, your cards may get there in a day or 2 days. If you're way out in California or Washington State, you may notice that it's going to take a lot longer for your cards to get there, but they should be there within 5 days. Okay, so pre-sort standard, we say 5 days or less on average. For pre-sort standard, it's usually 2 to 3 weeks. So if I were to send out an order today on May 5th, the cards would get to the post office on the 15th, and then they would arrive probably the week of either the 24th or the 31st. So if you're doing anything that has any sort of time sensitivity to it, you're going to want to use pre-sort first class. Okay, if you're sending out cards and they're just sort of like a, hey, we do repairs and customs, come on in and see us. For that, maybe you're a little bit more flexible and you can send them out pre-sort standard. Okay, so if we send the order out this week, they will go to the post office on the following Friday. So it will actually tell you on the screen, your job is scheduled to be delivered to the U.S. Postal Service on Friday, May 15th. Okay, now we're not going to be uploading our own mailing list for here. We're actually going to scroll down and we're going to look at the bottom here in the gray section. The gray section says avoid sending multiple mailings to the same address. So when we go in to create our list, we're going to need to make the following selections. We have to choose consumer database and unique addresses only for our first line. What this does is make sure that we're not sending more than one card to this same address. So we need to say, I understand that we are going to do this when we come in and set them up. This is a very important step. So if you're taking notes, make a note of this, okay? Next, we're going to come in and say we are going to approve all of the above. So we're going to say that we double checked all of our registration and street address and our website, and everything is spelled correctly, no typos, everything looks good, and we're ready to go. And we're going to click I agree. The next step we have is we're going to scroll down a little bit, and we're going to say we're going to generate a targeted direct mail list. So I'm going to select that option, and I'm going to click next. Typically then I'm going to come in and I'm going to select a radius around an address, and I'll come in and I'll actually put in the Edge's address here. Here we go. And we can decide what radius we want. Do we want a 1 mile radius of the store, 2 mile radius of the store? That's probably going to depend pretty heavily on how rural or not your store is, your area around your store. But when we come in, we need to first do what we said we would, and we need to select our database type. So I'm going to come down, I'm going to change this from business to consumer, and I'm going to click the search field, and I'm going to come down and select unique addresses only. Okay, and what that's going to do is it's going to make sure that we are not sending more than one card to a household. I'm then going to come down and I'm going to click the plus symbol, and now I can come in and say, I want to look for just customers, and we can choose whatever kind of criteria we want here. Okay, and it's everything from customers who like to be outdoors, customers who are in a specific age range, customers who live in a certain household range. And we can scroll down and find what it is we're looking for. So I can come in here and I can say, you know what, I want to look for customers whose households have at least a certain amount of estimated income. Or I want to look for customers whose houses have a certain market value, because maybe I want to target my more affluent customers. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to select estimated income here, and then I can come in, and as you see right now, I can come in and I can scroll down and say, maybe I want customers who have income in the 150,000 to 175,000 range. And if I select that, I could whittle it down, and you're going to see I have 214 households in my area within 1 mile of my store that meet that criteria. So there's 214 households. So you have to figure, if each card averages around $1, $1.10, we're looking in the range of like 214, 216, we're looking about 214, $216 for the cards themselves. But you're going to see here that we have a total price. Now our total price is our list. So what we're going to be charged for here is actually the list of customers that we're going to be purchasing. So I can come in here and I can play with these numbers. I can have multiple criteria. But if I say, you know what, 214 cards, that sounds pretty reasonable for what I'm looking for. And my list price is going to be $6.42. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to click next. I'm happy with my 214 customers. The next option we have is data quality options. So these are going to be pre-populated for you. Not much that you have to select here. It's going to make sure that it double checks all the addresses, reflects any change of address forms, removes duplicates by household, etc. And I can click next. Those are all going to be pre-checked for me. So it's going to say, okay, we've got our direct mail price for our list of $6.42, and then it's going to be the $4 for the preparation, which is going to be our cleaning of the list, making sure that all the list is correct, all the addresses are correct, removing any duplicates, all that good stuff. And it's going to say you are purchasing your list or data quality services only. A separate order confirmation will be emailed for printing and postage charges associated with this job. So what I want you to understand here, you're going to get billed 2 separate times. First, you're going to get billed the $10.42 for your list. Okay, so these are customers that you have gone in and you have set your radius, and you can go through and set as many criteria as you want. I could say I'm looking for customers who have income ranges. Now I only selected 1 income range. I may choose 2 or 3 income ranges, which is going to give me more options, more customers who fall into those criteria. I kept mine pretty small with just 214 customers. I was okay with that. And I'm only going to get charged $10 for that list of customers. So here I would come in and I would either pay by PayPal, PayPal credit, or debit or credit card, and I would purchase that list of customers. I would then get my separate charge for the actual cards themselves. Okay, so if I'm choosing a jumbo card, those run about $1.09 a piece. And you have to figure, because I'm going to send them out first class. So if I have, let's see here, I have $1.09 times 214, it's going to be $233.26 for the cards themselves. That's to print the cards, stamp the cards, and mail the cards. I never have to touch the cards. It'll all be handled for me. Okay. So for under $250, we purchased a list of brand new customers that have, that we have targeted, and we've sent cards out to them to get them into the store. Now there's other ways that we can come in and we can do this. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over to products, and we're going to take a look at the next option. So the next option we have are welcome to the neighborhood cards. So these are great cards to reach out to new people who are moving into your neighborhood. So I can decide if I want regular postcards or jumbo postcards. And you'll see that we have two options here. We have this one here with the little key with a ring and the keychain on it, and we have another one with a little neighborhood here. So I'm going to choose the one on the left. And when I click on the image, you'll see that not only is it going to have the little design here, it's actually going to have the customer's last name written onto the front of the card itself. So these will be personalized using the customer's last name. And you'll see it'll say welcome to, and then it'll have the town where your store is. So ours is going to say Shelton, yours is going to say something else. On the back of the card, you'll see that it's going to have a design. It's going to say, we welcome you to, in this case, Shelton, and look forward to being your personal jeweler. Home is where love resides, memories are created, friends always belong, and laughter never ends. It'll have your store logo and all of your contact information for the store. So it'll have your phone number and then directions on how to get to your store. On the back, on the rest of the back of the card, it's going to have your offer up at the top, your disclaimer beneath it, and then you're going to have this section where it's going to have your store name, address, and the customer's information. Okay, so if I want to send this card out to new movers, I'm going to go do basically the same process that we just did. I'm going to come down to purchase a list, and I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to make sure that I've registered. Now, if you're doing this for the first time, you will need to come in. Again, you're going to need that Edge ID from your My Account section of your Edge program. But if you've already filled this out once, it should all stay in there, so you shouldn't have to refill it out. We've got our card that we selected, and we can put our promotional offer in here. So I'm going to put in my offer, put in my disclaimer. So I'm going to put in my information. Again, sample proofs will only be done if the order is going to be above 1,000 pieces. We would select our postage class. So if I'm not really worried about it going in as, you know, maybe I don't need this one as time sensitive, I can come in here and do pre-sort standard. Again, the cards will still go to the post office for the same day, which is the following Friday after I do my order. So once again, because I know we had some late arrivals, if I place my order this week, the cards will go to the post office the following Friday, which is the 15th. And if I did first class mail, they would arrive within 5 days, 5 business days. So they would typically arrive wherever you are in the United States the week of the 17th. If I sent them out pre-sort standard, they may arrive either the week of the 24th or the week of the 31st and 1st of June. So we can decide how we want to send these out. Now, again, if we send them out first class for our time sensitive, usually about 10 cents more than if we send them out pre-sort standard. Once we scroll down, we're going to approve the order, and we're going to wait for the system to load. We're going to scroll down, and we're going to select Generate a Targeted Direct Mail List, and I'm going to click Next. I can then come in, I can select my radius, put in my address, just like we did before. And I can decide how big I want to make my radius. So I'm going to do 3 miles. And this time when we come in, I'm going to go into either new mover or new homeowner. Okay. Now, new mover is going to include people who purchased homes. but also people who are renters. If we did new homeowner, it's just going to go to new homeowners. Okay, so I can decide which one I want to do. If I say just to new homeowners, I can come in and I could say, I'm looking for the entire database of new homeowners, or I could say people who have moved in the past, we'll say 60 days. And we'll see how many we get. I only have 17 people, but I can easily send this card out to 17 people. Or I may decide to say, you know what, maybe I'm going to make my, maybe I'm going to change it. Maybe I'm going to say, you know what, I'm going to go in and do new mover. And I'm going to say number of days old. I could do, if they've moved in the past, let's say 60 days for this one. Let's see what we get. 244 people. So decide, are you looking more at renters or just homeowners? Okay, same basic process. I have 244 cards here. The cost of my list is going to be $7.32 for starters. That's before we go in and do any cleaning. And you'll see here we have data quality. It's going to go in, it's going to make sure all the data is clean. It's going to remove any duplicates by address, etc. And we can click next. It's going to give us a direct mail price of $7.32 for the list, $4 for the mail scrubbing to make sure everything's in line. And when I click next, the system's going to remind me, hey, right now, this amount that you're seeing that I'm trying to bill you for is just for the list and the cleaning of the list. So we're going to say, I understand. And at this point, I could then come in, I could pay for my list. DriveRetail will send this order to the print house. The print house will go through and pull up 244 cards here. It's going to print them. It's going to stamp them. They're going to go out. They're going to be personalized, and they're going to go to anybody who has moved into my neighborhood within a 3-mile radius of my store in the past 60 days. Letting them know, hey, I realize you just got to town, or you just got to this area. Please come on into my store. Let me be your jeweler. So this is a great, fast, and easy way to reach out to new customers, especially new customers who have just moved into the area. You can get a first shot at getting them into your store and getting their business. Now, there's one other option I want to show you about before we finish out today, and that is our Every Door Direct mail marketing program. And that one is located here under products. It's the second one down. Now, on our prior cards, we went through and we said, hey, you know what? I'm going to reach out to new customers who need specific targeted information. Okay. Every Door Direct marketing is a little bit different. What we're going to do for Every Door Direct marketing is we're going to send cards out through the US Postal Service, but this time, rather than mailing them out, the cards are going to go to the mail carrier for that area, and they are simply going to put one in every mailbox on their carrier route, whether it's a business, whether it's a customer, but they're going to put one in every mailer. So let's say we were going to send a card out for 4th of July. I could come in, and I just picked this one because it was right here. You'll see here that these do have a minimum. Now, for the other cards, there is no minimum. You can send one card or as many cards as you want. For the Every Door Direct Mail program, you do have to have 1,500 minimum pieces. You can certainly go over that, but your minimum is 1,500. Okay, these are going to be a little bit cheaper. I believe these are going to be 69 cents per card because we're not paying for all the postage. So in this case, we're going to scroll down, and you'll see here it says, 85% of small business customers come from a 5-mile radius. And this really, they deliver them to the post office near your store. They go to the carriers, and as the carriers are delivering the mail, they just put one in every mailbox. So we can come in and we can find a card here. I'm looking, I don't see card. So these are, I'm not seeing. Let's go see. There might be an issue with those. Let me go take a look and see if there's something else here. Let me find a card. I'm gonna do Mother's Day again. Normally we want to make sure we have these out in plenty of time before the holiday. So these we wouldn't be able to send these right now because they wouldn't even get to the post office till after Mother's Day. But I'm just gonna choose a Mother's Day card because I'm feeling the Mother's Day vibe. If we're doing every door direct, we can come in, we can choose a card off of our list. And I'm gonna say, I'll choose this one here. Once we scroll down, you'll see send this direct mailer to acquire new customers using our online post office. So we're going to click on every door direct. When we come down, once again, same process, fill in that Edge ID from our My Account. We're going to fill in any other information. If you've already filled it in, you're going to notice it should pre-populate for you. It's going to have reviews the card here. It's going to have the information on it, and we can come in and say, I'll copy the other offer we have on the sample here. Bring in this card for $100 off your Mother's Day purchase. And we'll do a minimum $500 purchase. Please see store for details. And again, as we scroll down, there's no postage cost for this. There's only EDDM, every door direct marketing service. And it's going to let us know the cards are going to go to US Postal Service on May 15th. Okay. So it's going to let you know. We're going to scroll down. We're going to click approve order. And when we do, we're going to generate a list just like we did before, only this time it's a little bit different. So I'm going to pick an address here. I'll go in and use the same one I'll use the office here. Now, when I pull in my office, what you're going to see are these shaded areas with the red lines or blue lines around them. These are going to be your carrier routes. So you're going to see that this mail carrier route actually goes all of here and here. Now, down at the bottom, it's going to let you know what the route number is. It's going to let you know how many residential deliveries and how many business deliveries there are, and a total number of deliveries. Now, remember, the carrier is going to put one in every single mailbox, whether it's business or residential. So you may decide, you know what, I'm going to come in and maybe I want to maybe I'm going to scooch over. I'm going to find a different area instead. So rather than this one, maybe I'm going to choose this one. Now, once I choose this area here, you're going to see that we have, it's one route. We have 470 residential deliveries in this area and only 3 business. Now, I do have to get to that 1,500 minimum. So I may come in and I may select some more customers, another route here. Again, I've got 995 residential, only 8 business. So this is a pretty good one here. I'm getting close to where I need to be. So I've selected these neighborhoods around the office, and you'll see that I've come up with 1,769 cards. So I'm pretty close to my 1,500 minimum. I could play with this a little bit and try to get really, really close, but I may go over. I got to kind of figure out what works, what doesn't work. I could take options off. So once you click it, it will turn red. If you want to remove it, you can click it again and it will remove it off. So as you can see, I can keep going until I get a good number that I feel comfortable with, kind of go around, pick neighborhoods wherever I want to target. So if I want to go in and target more affluent neighborhoods around the store, I can select those. But I need to make sure my total number of deliveries is going to be is going to be above 1,500. Now, once I come in and I click next, you're going to see that it's going to automatically have the data quality in there to make sure all the addresses are correct. I can come in and click next. Now you will see here that there's additional options for this. There is one that, I hope I didn't just erase what I did here. It went ahead for me here. I can go in and adjust. Once I've gone through and I said, yes, I've picked my neighborhoods, I'm good to go, the Edge is going to let you know, make payment in full button below for your EDDM order. Now, this is going to let you know, this is for the data quality service, plus the printing, plus mailing service to our customers. And it says you will not be invoiced or charged for any additional costs associated with this job. So it's going to charge me $6 for all the scrubbing of the data, making sure everything's good. And then my marketing, so the full amount for the cards. Now on the EDDM function, it's going to charge us for the list, cleaning, and the cards. Whereas on the other options we looked at today, the new mover and creating a targeted list, it will bill us twice, once for the list and then separately for the cards. In this option, it actually bills us all at once. So it's going to charge me $1,212.12. But keep in mind, that's targeting over 1,700 customers. Okay, so it's reaching a lot of people. 1,700 customers in the areas and neighborhoods that I have selected around my store. And it's going to reach all those people because these cards are a little bit cheaper. As noted, they're only 69 cents a piece. Okay, I would pay for this. This order would get sent to the print house. It would get to the U.S. Postal Service by next Friday. It will go in with the carriers and they will start the delivery process. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, the DriveRetail website, perfect opportunity to come through. Take a look at this if you have some time in the near future. There's a lot of different options here. Integrated marketing, acquisition, retention. There's a print house here. I know some of you may be considering the reopening promotion that the Edge is doing in order to get customers into the store and drive up some revenue very quickly. And we'll be partnering, we're partnered up with DriveRetail for that. If you're interested in that, you probably got an email about it. It's also on the Edge newsfeed, and there's a website that you can an email that they have on there for you to email if you're interested in getting more information. But this is definitely worth checking out. You're going to see under products, there's a lot of different cards here, a lot of information. And it's a great, easy way to reach out to both your existing customers using the postcard program and then new customers as well. If you're going to be reaching out to any of your existing customers through the Edge, keep in mind you are going to send the orders out of the Edge program. The ones that we looked at today are geared towards new customers. So those are going to be done through the DriveRetail site. Otherwise, thanks for joining me, everybody. That's all I have for you today. Stay healthy, be well, and hopefully I will see you all in class again soon. Thanks so much for joining me.